Parental discretion is advised.
That's all guys want. All guys want is pussy.
Or could it be that the men that only want pussy, the men that only want sex from women, is because that's all that the women have to offer? Because for me, if pussy is all you're offering, pussy's all I want.
It was another deadly weekend in Chicago. At least 14 people were shot and 3 people were killed by gun violence. More than 70 people have been murdered in Chicago already this year.
My brother was shot entering my freshman year of high school. I can count on more than both of my hands how many classmates have died because this wasn't sin. Since elementary school all the way through high school. And literally dropped to the ground. I was playing on the sidewalk thinking I don't want to be the next person on the news that's killed by a stray bullet. Public safety is the number one issue, and if we could address public safety, then we could address crime. For me, crime affects everything. It's the only issue that matters. The police show up after the crime has already been committed. They don't show up to prevent. Well, I used to feel safe here, but I don't feel safe anymore.
More than 800 people were murdered in 2021 alone. Reports of violent crimes continue to rise, up 12% since 2019. A recent poll found that nearly 2/3 of Chicago residents say they feel unsafe from gun violence and crime.
If my son came home from school one day and said to me, "Look, Mum, I'll be honest with you, I think I'm gay," I would take it on and I'd be open.
What if your son came home and said, "I think I'm black"?
You really don't understand, do you? Hey man, don't you realize in order for us to make this thing work, man, we've got to get rid of the pimps and the pushers and the prostitutes and then start all over again clean.
Hey, look, nobody's pushing me anyway, okay? I mean, not you, not the cops, nobody, man. I mean, you want to get rid of the pushers, I'll help you. But don't send your people after me.
John, can't you see that we can't get rid of one without getting rid of the other? We got to come down on both of them at the same time in order for this whole thing to work for the people.
Hey, look, nobody's closing me out of my business.
Hey man, you're not flushing the blood. You make me make a decision I don't want to make, John. You're my brother, man. Can't you understand that?
Look, being brothers ain't got nothing to do with it, man. I mean, I got a right to live my life the way I want to live it. I mean, being rich and black means something, man. Don't you know that? Being poor and black don't mean shit. We're living in different times. When you and I were young kids, I mean, there were no heroes. We got all sorts of heroes now. But there's kids out there who look up to me, man.
Man, can't you see that's just teaching black kids to exploit their own kind? And that's sick.
Well, it's not sick, man. It's sick when you got a chance to get out of a rat-infested ghetto and you don't.
Oh, wow, then you really lost your love for the brothers altogether then, haven't you?
I mean, don't be dropping that brotherly love shit on me, man. I mean, for 5 years I set up in that place and you never visited me one time. And you didn't bring me a dime, you didn't write me a letter.
Well, that's because I figured you wanted something better than dimes and letters and visits. So I tried to create some kind of organization that you can use to fight the system that's been fucking with you. You too goddamn brainwashed to use it.
I just wanted to see you, man. That's all.
Go ahead. Lady at 46 South Road.
Alright, blue cup, currency, Mel Black, running 6-3 and Mel 7637 at the air. Mel Black, blue cup, and 1-4-6-3 and Mel. Mel Black, blue, what you got? I got an officer down, 10-1, 10-1, 6-3 and Mel, officer down, shots fired at the police. Officer down, male black, a blue cuff jersey.
Growing concerns over the number of shootings impacting children and teens just this weekend. According to ABC 7 data, at least 9 young people under the age of 18 have been injured in shootings across the city since Friday night. One of those young victims has died.
But we begin with the Justice Department's sobering conclusion to its investigation into the Louisville, Kentucky Police Department, finding a damning pattern of illegal and discriminatory behavior, including unlawful traffic stops, detentions, harassment, and racial bias, all of it disproportionately targeting black people.
Of the city's police department, detailing what he believes is a troubling pattern of racial bias and constitutional rights violations.
This conduct is unacceptable. Some officers have demonstrated disrespect for the people they are sworn to protect. Some have videotaped themselves throwing drinks at pedestrians from their cars, insulted people with disabilities, and called black people monkeys, animal, and boy.
Thursday around 5 in the evening, CPG reports 61 people shot, and at least 15 of those victims have been killed.
It's a war zone. It really is.
The one I spoke to, her son, her only baby, and he was just going to get his children some shoes for the holiday. He never made it back.
I know people who can't walk from their house to the store without a gun on them.
Why is that a reality? Why do people feel like they have to have a gun on them?
Because people getting killed left and right. It's sad.
I got shot twice, and I could have been gone, but I'm still here, so that's God. I know that's with me, so this hell on earth. Yeah.
It's hell on earth?
Yeah, it's hell on earth.
Probably heard and saw over and over again was guns.
We make sure our self-secure, we make sure our self-safe. Yeah, man, this is Mac right here, man. That's 50 shots, man.
That's a MAC-10, a semi-automatic weapon originally designed for military use and illegal in Chicago.
So why do you need guns without a firearm? Protection. It's dangerous out here.
This Southside crew is affiliated with the group the Titanic Stones. They cover their faces to conceal their identities. They actually told us they hate guns.
We ain't with this gun. I'm just doing it for survival until I could put my family and myself in a better predicament to where I need to be. We just trying to keep ourselves protected.
Many guys told us they'd rather risk the police catching them with a gun than have their rival find them without one. Where do you get a gun like this? Where did you get this gun?
Off the streets, people sell them.
How easy is it for someone to get a gun?
That easy. You want one? That's how easy it is.
And it's worth it for you to keep this gun?
We felons, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna give us no job. The cops don't give a about us.
But with so many innocent people dying by these bullets,
that's
is it worth it? I mean,
no, at the end it ain't worth it, but you gotta go through the drill or drive-by, you know what I'm saying? And someone innocent little sister gets shot. Now guess what? Them and them guys are coming back, and that's how the confrontation's just gonna keep going.
Why not just put the guns down?
Put the guns down? Well, it probably will happen. Maybe in the near future. It's just no time right now, you know? I don't want to put my gun down. 9 times out of 10, the innocent ones getting hurt, you know what I'm saying? If they do come shooting right now, we probably don't even get shot, and we got guns. You might get shot. That's how up it is, you know? But it's survive or be killed.
Well, for a second time, this woman, April Matthews, is in trouble with the law trying to smuggle contraband into a state prison. St. Gabriel police arrested her yesterday, and she faces questions by another agency today.
Well, Mallory, the 25-year-old was attempting to drop off a contraband package at a lane hunt Tuesday afternoon when DOC officials moved in to nab her after receiving a tip earlier in the day about the planned drop-off. Now, you're seeing on your screen when Matthews was taken into custody Tuesday evening, but before that, she did put up a fight. She made a move to try and evade arrest. Multiple agencies were eventually able to get her in handcuffs along Highway 74 near Gonzales, following a pursuit that led into Ascension Parish. Inside that package she was attempting to get inside the prison, there were more than 100 grams of weed, dozens of pain pills, 12 cell phones, clothing, and tobacco products, among other items. But this isn't the first time the former DOC employee was caught trying to smuggle contraband to prisoners. In May of 2017, she was arrested trying to smuggle drugs into Angola. She would resign from DOC shortly after, and as she tried to make the drop-off yesterday, she was still on probation related to that case 2 years ago. Next up for Matthews, a chat with the FBI, the feds reaching out to authorities here as the DOC's effort to crack down on drug smuggling continues. But before Matthews was wrangled, she did attempt to hit the road and go on the run.
Stay off my air, stay off my air. Everybody stay off the air. I got an officer down, 6-3 and bail. Start rolling.
One Seattle police officer told us anonymously, I would say all of the people living in sidewalk tents, doorways, and encampments suffer from drug addiction, or more rarely, a serious debilitating mental illness. Another officer put it this way, intervention of some sort has to be made on the people who were involved. If there is no intervention, there's no solution. It's that simple. This officer continues, I used to be proud of the hard work I did and actually thought I was doing something important. I took pride in working hard and making good arrests while treating everyone with the respect they deserve. Now, it's just about trading hours for dollars, and it's frustrating to me knowing I am becoming more apathetic and caring less about doing a good job. Another cop said, homelessness and drug use have become such politically charged issues. Politically charged in that the city, including SPD administration, have ceased to be interested in policing this population. In a misguided attempt to help this population, the city has allowed the streets to be essentially taken over. The city is falling apart and becoming more unsafe due to politics surrounding low-level criminal activity and homelessness. We don't want to screw over the homeless population. We just want the ability to police them. And yet another officer told us this. Drug dealers selling crack, meth, and heroin are evil people preying on the weakest part of society and belong in prison. We arrest them and nothing happens to them. They are back out on the street immediately. We need to acknowledge the disregard for human life inherent in selling life-ending drugs and lock the dealers up for serious time. Can't just show up. They eventually get moved. They show up again. They set up where they please, in front of tourists, next to businesses, it doesn't matter. And they know that a lack of political will, or an overwhelming of resources, or indifference disguised as compassion will allow them to stay. And don't think for a moment that the visitors to our city don't notice.
Hello, my brothers and sisters. I am the Reverend Point Blank, and as you well know, this conversation is about gangs, police, and situations that's happening in our communities today, particularly Chicago, but frankly all over the world. We were talking about gang violence. I'm wondering what that's about. I've been around gangs. I'm here with Pop G TV, and he knows the gangs. We grew up around it. Let's talk about why do these gang members do what they do?
Well, I have no complete explanation on why they do what they do, but I have some insight on why things happen the way they happen. You know what I mean? It's lack of resources. It's lack of financial stability in our community. It's lack of resources to where the kids could go to the youth centers or go to the, they used to give tickets to the schools to take kids to basketball games, baseball games. They dismantled all of that. So it caused a ruckus once they start gentrifying. You know what I mean? Once they came to the neighborhoods and took certain parts of the community, dismantled them, put them over here, put them over there. And that caused the whole ruckus, Jay, because people wasn't used to being in the ghetto or being in the suburbs or being in certain places to where it wasn't security anymore. So that caused the whole uproar in the communities because you got people from Stateway, from Rockwell Gardens, from Cabrini Green, from the Ickies, from Delow. You got people that come from them projects that they tore down. Now the money source is low now.
So So it's saying it's getting back to the foundation of things. It's the politics, it's the gentrification, it's the disdain for black people or to hold them down, because in most black neighborhoods, this is the problem. There are no jobs.
And you know where that comes from. I'm going to cut you off, I'm sorry. And that comes from the Democratic Party. We just got to be honest. I know people going to say things like, oh, all this and all that, but we just got to be real. In any major city, it's always ran by Democrats, but it's low in poverty. You get where I'm coming from? So tell me, why is that? Because the reason is to keep black folks down. They impute this, we're gonna give you Section 8, we're gonna give you low income, we're gonna give you food stamps. Just sit on your ass, kick the black man out the house. We're gonna give you this and take care of this. But that put the woman, because women don't know this. They wanted y'all to go to the workforce so they could tax y'all as well. It's more money, it's all a business. And another thing, they say, you know what we need to do? We need to get these women out of the household. We need to take their children and put them in the school system. And the school system is what? A bunch of bullshit, because it don't teach them financial literacy. It don't teach them about stocks. It don't teach them about the bonds. It don't teach them about fucking how to pay your taxes and knowing what this gonna go about and how to save money. They don't teach you the value of money. Even though our dollar value is crap, it ain't backed by nothing, it's just a tender fucking note. So we fighting over territory that we already had back in the fucking 1900s. Our families, a lot of our families owned a lot of this property that they took, you know what I mean? They just took it from us though, Jake.
So let me ask you this now. Well, we know that gentrification has been going on for a long time, since Willie Lynch, way before then. How do you feel about the police department?
I mean, we need them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against police, but I'm just against the ones that overuse their authority, the ones that come in the community and violate our rights because we black and we don't have no, you know, like, see what happened with why Joe Biden able to give the Chinese Act and the violence for the Chinese Act and don't do it for the black people, because the Chinese have a fucking whole country. They have a resource. They do that's a connection with America. We're gonna stay in good grace with China. The blacks ain't got no fucking country, no nothing to go to.
No, I agree with that, but there's one thing we have that they take advantage of, and the one thing that we have that they take advantage of that we even don't take advantage of is the fact that we are not unified. If we unified ourselves, we wouldn't need this. And they have kept us divided for many years. You pitch the black, light skin against the dark skin. You pitch the father against the mother. And this has been going on since Willie Lynch, and I believe it's still happening today. Even though everybody's got a choice right now, it's happening because it's embedded in the spirit of most black people, not all.
Because of, I could say something towards that. See, the reason that happened was they knew that the black mind was very powerful. They knew that the blacks being united, that's just something that they had to disrupt that.
Well, but you said it earlier. You told me before. You said that the police is same as slavery. So you are still a slave, and they were arresting people for spitting or saying things. So this was a continued ploy with the police jails, and they're happening all over the world.
The jails is the big business. The jails is a system where everybody in the certain hierarchies have money in, so they're profiting off of. That's what I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? A lot of hierarchies, we just gotta be honest, they profiting off the prison system. That's why they say, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna give them a different music. Because if you look at the music, we're gonna start from here. Let me finish and I'm gonna allow you to go. We're gonna start from the music to where back in your days, how the music was.
Political. It was love. It was about helping things.
Exactly. So now you got that. Then you go to fight the power music, crack is whack music, because they already knew that the government threw the crack in the neighborhood.
Gil Scott-Heron.
They knew that. They knew that the government threw the crack in the neighborhood. So the rappers at that time was telling them that crack was whack.
And the guns.
You know what I mean? And the guns. And then you come with music about smoking weed, rolling down the street, smoking indo, sipping on gin and juice. You got that type of music. It wasn't really about kill, shoot 'em up and bang, bang, bang yet. Right. You get what I'm saying? But they say, you know what? We could turn this thing around. We could stop giving them the bankroll and look at these shorties over here who talking about shooting somebody in the head. You get what I'm saying? Right. So that could increase the murder rate, and it can increase what? The jail system.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Now, people getting caught with more guns, people getting caught with, more drugs, people getting caught with murders or this and that. So it's like, they did it. It was a plan. It was designed. We got a president in office right now who signed a bill to say mass incarceration of black men. That's what I'm gonna say. I can't articulate or read the bill because it ain't in front of me. We got a president that did that. Mass incarceration of black people. We're gonna sign a bill to say if you get caught with a fucking crack rock, or if you get caught with this and it's your third offense, you get life in prison. But who did that affect though, Jay?
It affected black and brown people.
Exactly. So, and again, I'm gonna cut you. I'm gonna just say this. So that's where the lack of fathers came in play. So now these kids start growing up. Because the single parent household, we just got to be honest. If you're a single mother, 80% of the time, the kid is going to grow up disrupted.
Of course. No father.
No father figures. No one to tell this child or give them that look.
Teach them and show them how to
teach them, because you got to understand. That goes back to why they took the parents out of the household, because you got to understand. The father was the what? He was the provider. He was the worker. He was the person that come home and teach the kids the skill. The mother is the person who nurture, teach the child how to be nurturing, teach them how to read and things of that nature. We supposed to home parent the kids, because now they say, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make the women feel as they're supposed to be equal to the man. You know what I mean? Because women didn't have to work. Women didn't have to work. The man came and gave her the check. She paid all the bills. She went to go buy her a purse. She bought the kids the shoes. You get where I'm coming from? And that was that. They say, no, we can't have that. Steal, sharpen, steal, right, Jay? Right. So they dismantling shit by that. Steal, sharpen, steal. Why not I sit with my cousin, you, such and such, and we all, no, that ain't right. But we put our minds together, exactly, we put our minds together and come up with the answer. Now we learn from each other. You know what I mean? It's interaction that we need, interaction.
And that is the foundation with which I talked about earlier, where the unification, they divided us. If we stick together, we have lawyers, we have doctors, we have engineers, we have scientists, we have all black. I mean, technology. We can do this, but because of the separation, it's gone awry. Now, quite frankly, when I talk about the police department, that's kind of like the KKK. Now, I don't say that all of them are bad. I think the KKK are wearing robes. I think the KKK are district attorneys. I think the KKK is even the president of the United States at some point. I believe there is a secret order. They run this entire world. And they've got people in China, people in Russia, and they got their own leaders. But they are the governing force for the entire world right now.
You know what I mean? I think we should have stayed where the fuck we was at, and white folks stayed where they at. Because we were spending money with ourselves.
When we stopped the bus thing,
look,
they heard us.
We were spending money with us.
Yes.
We had Black Wall Street. We had things that was going on. We had grocery stores. We had our doctors. We had our lawyers. We had our own everything.
That's right.
Here come doctor.
They didn't like it. White folks didn't like that.
But we had it.
We had it. They blew out Black Wall Street.
Look, now we don't have it.
Guns.
They carry guns for protection, and it's your Second Amendment right. You got the right to bear arms, but me and you, they're going to take our amendments away because of the color of our skin. You can go to certain fucking states, and long as you're not a felon, you can just buy a gun and carry it. It's open carry states. We're in a democratic state to where they're going to hold the black people down. Right. This is not a gun carry state. You can go to Indiana, where that's a red state. Right. Guess what? Open carry. You can go to Detroit. You know what I mean? Open carry. You can go to fucking Texas, Georgia, all of them red states.
So how you feel about open carry?
I feel that that's your right to bear arms.
Okay.
But look, just imagine, Jay, you in the grocery store, your youngster and your other youngster, y'all in the grocery store. Somebody just coming in there wanting to shoot, and you got to protect your motherfucking tone bounce.
No, I understand.
Ain't this great for you to be able to carry your gun, Jay?
Great. Now let me ask you this: how and why is it so easy to get an assault rifle? I'm just saying, that has to be some kind of background check.
You know
so
why?
to find out if this person is qualified or eligible.
Because they do this. They get a freight train. They bring it through the neighborhood, which is 55th and all of that in the middle of Chicago. They bring it through the neighborhood.
They leave the truck open.
And the guns is already
Okay,
assembled.
so-
Listen. The guns are already assembled.
Right.
They usually ship it by parts. You got this part of the gun, now that go. This part of the gun, now that go. Then they assemble it at the place they do the assembly at. Man, they got these motherfucker already done put a whole big truckload of rifles.
I got that. I'm talking about this 16, 17-year-old boy that bought an assault rifle from the store.
I can't comment on
and
that.
Drove it. Get to the white black thing. I'm thinking he drove it across state line and killed 2 white people.
He didn't kill 2 white people. He shot him in self-defense. They were trying to take his gun from him.
Okay.
But
he was already illegal, right?
He was already illegal. I'm gonna agree with that.
And then the pillow man paid to get him out.
Don't give the other 2 people the right to take his gun.
No, I got
and shoot and kill him.
I got it.
So
2 wrongs don't make a right.
2 wrongs don't make a right, Jay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you can't go around trying to take people weapons from, like, you seeing that right now. I just saw on the thing where dude had his gun on his side. Somebody walked up and snatched his gun.
Yeah. What that happened?
And this what he did. He couldn't do nothing. I saw it again. A girl in the store. She open carry. Guess what he did?
Well, see, we would never open carry.
Snatched her gun.
We would never open carry.
But that's the main thing with certain places.
It's got our mind has to be concealed.
Yeah, that's the main thing in certain places.
I don't even take my
be
gun
seen
out the house. But here's a lady that worked for the Department of Corrections. She's taking drugs. She's taking pills in there. She's taking marijuana in there. She's taking cell phones in there. Black woman. She works for the Department of Corrections. Now they busted her.
She human. She human, Jay.
You think she did it because
she human, Jay?
They wouldn't pay her.
If somebody, exactly, she human. If somebody come, I know you're not gonna do it. You're not that person. You're not gonna do it. She ain't getting enough money to make me do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But she's human. She get paid maybe $1,800 a week. You know what I mean?
It's about the money.
And somebody say you do all of this. The cell phone $1,000 to get in, and you only pay $80 for a cell phone. I go buy $80 cell phone. They give me $1,000 for this $80 cell phone.
But people
I
don't
go
think
listen, Jay, just listen. I go get whatever else drug you get, and I put another 90% up tax on it. Okay, you want it? All right, it's going for me to bring it in. It's going. If this costs $10, it's $100. Right. So you want how many of them? You get what I'm saying now? So I done made $5,000 bringing it in one day.
Right, but what is gonna cost you to get out when you get caught? How your rest
a union to get out?
A union
to get out. Union,
she black, remember?
The union to get out. The union reps, they'll get out. What the officers say? Don't talk to nobody until you talk to the chief and your union reps.
Well, and the police officers have this immunity, don't they, from being prosecuted?
I don't know, Jay.
I heard about that police immunity from being prosecuted or something like that. Yeah. Well, anyway, Pop G, what do you want to say about this? What do you want to say about what we talked about? Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing, so the public can know who we're dealing with and what you're working on.
What I'm working on is I'm working on getting me together. You know what I mean, Jay? I'm working on the podcast. Gonna be coming out. It's gonna be called Pop G TV Podcast. Do your best verse. We're going to sit down and talk about, like I said, I'm going to stay away from politics and religion. So we're going to talk about more like music, more like what's going on in the community, how we can better the youngsters, how we can upgrade ourselves. We're going to try to bring on entrepreneurs who have elevated in what they did, for others if they doing real estate, for others if they doing taxes, whatever they doing, we're gonna try to bring them on so they can get a little, spill some beans and spill the knowledge so that people could, you know what I'm saying, get some just due. And I'm gonna be working on I'm gonna do the box truck company. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get the box truck company going, and I'm gonna just stay focused, open up the YouTube channel back, Pop G TV. Y'all can find me on all platforms at Pop G TV, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You know what I mean? So
you using social media
as an outlet.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Using social media as a boost to reach people.
Business. Yes,
to reach people. You know what I mean? So, but Jay, I gotta end this one, man, because I gotta get out of here. It was nice talking to you, and we could go on and on.
Oh,
it would have been like another hour or so. You know what I'm saying? So, but
all right, my brothers and sisters, I'm the Reverend Point Blank,
and I'm Pop G TV.
It's Pop G TV, and we just chilling.
That's right.